Congratulations, everybody, all the team of VitiGEOSS. We will be talking this morning about precision vineyard management. That's what the project is about. And I want to help you, the people that is in here and at home, with some technical issues. But before, I want to go through the agenda. We will see, okay, let's, here. We will start with a keynote talking about challenges of remote sensing data for vineyard management. And we will have a coffee break at 10:15, more or less. And we will have two sessions. One before the break, talking about the services that we can that we have in the platform, and also we will have applications and how the decision makers find the platform and what else would they want to have in the future. I don't want to extend much, but you can see some technical issues. For the ones that want translation of the whole presentation, you can, and the ones that are in streaming, you have here in your, the interpretation bullet, and you can choose the translation that you want. It is an AI platform that it's translating automatically, so it might have some troubles with some words, but I guess you will know, what we are speaking in general. So I hope you don't miss anything of the journey. Also, if you want captions, you have also the possibility to have only the captions, or both, the translation and the caption in one way. So you have this opportunity. And again, it's an artificial intelligence automatic platform, so it might have some troubles, but I guess the general traduction will be good enough to understand what we are talking about. The ones that are here, if you need also translation, you have the possibility in the platform that that the people in the reception they explained it to you how to do that. So you have already this open. Okay. If you have any questions during the meeting, we will be able to get on you with the answers. Please, the ones that are at home, just write your question in the chat. And the ones that are here, just raise your hands and we will get on you. I don't know if there are any questions so far. So keep going. Okay, here you have the partners that were involved in the project. So you were quite a few members of the project. Eurecat as a technological center, Links, the Barcelona Supercomputer Center, PricewaterhouseCoopers, ILIF, Departamento de Agraria, Simpton, Mostro Berardino, and Torres. You have like the technical partners upside. In the middle, you have people that has data and business knowledge, and at the bottom we have the end users that helped us to define what we need in the platform. Also, we want to to mention the ones that make possible this event. There are partners that collaborate with us to, to say everybody we were in the final event of VitiGEOSS. So I want to mention that also. And well, now we will start with the first with the first speaker, Montse Torres. She's a viticulture R&D manager and works with Familia Torres. So I want to welcome Montse Torres and just start your speech. Thank you. You can have this one. No. Vale, okay.
So, hello everyone. My name is Montse Torres, and on the behalf of Familia Torres, we are very honored to welcome all of you here in the final event of the VitiGEOSS project. In the heart of Penedès, in this building, within these walls, there's a lot of culture of wine. So, as many of you know, Familia Torres, we have a commitment with research, innovation, sustainability, everything together with our traditional practices. But the challenge of entering into the project of VitiGEOSS, it was fascinating for us because we saw a big potential that it could help us in our vineyard management. So today's event, we will have here viticulture experts, technological innovators, and this will mark the culmination of this innovative European project, where we can find here a step forward into the earth observation, in-field sensors, everything in order to help viticulture management. So during the morning, we will have a look at all the achievements, also the success stories, and we will engage to all of you a discussion about it. So just to say thank you for being here in the Vinceum, in the Vilafranca of Penedès, and also to everybody that is online from across Europe. So that's all, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Montse Torres, for your words. Now we will start with Rosa M Araujo, European Program Manager from Eurecat, that will talk about an overview of the project and the results. Thank you.
Yes, hello. Good morning, everyone, and thank you very much for being here, also the people online. I'm Rosa Araujo, Project Manager at Eurecat Technology Center in Catalonia, Spain, and the coordinator of this project. How this project started more than 5 years ago already. A group of people from many different backgrounds, viticultural experts, software developers, scientific people met together to see how we could target a challenge that the European Commission launched, that was for providing tools using Copernicus and GEOSS data. That's why, then we proposed to build a platform combining a series of intelligence services based on Earth observation, Copernicus and GEOSS. The project was planned over 42 months in order to cover 3 vegetative seasons. It started in September 2020 and is finalizing this month in February. That's why we are in this final event. Here now we are going to see a nice video, because an image always is much better than 1,000 words.
The European Union is the largest wine-producing region in the world, with over 165 million hectolitres produced annually. Climate change, provoking a higher frequency and intensity of extreme weather events, threatens crops all around the world. On the other hand, more than 20% of greenhouse emissions worldwide come from agricultural activities. This demonstrates why today, sustainable agriculture is more important than ever. The European-funded project VitiGEOSS contributes to the increase of sustainability in the wine industry by offering a platform for optimizing day-to-day field management. Based on the integration of Earth observations, combining satellite data and sensors in the field, the VitiGEOSS platform offers services providing advanced weather and subseasonal and seasonal climate forecasts, crop status indicators, phenological monitoring, disease warnings, crop water demand requirements, and a tool for managing business operations and sustainability assessment. VitiGEOSS aims to deliver a reliable decision support system to winemakers for smart vineyard management, supporting sustainable grapevine cultivation at an economic, environmental, and local level. The platform, being and tested in vineyards of 3 European wine producers, boosts vineyard sustainability and eases the industry adaptation to climate change. VitiGEOSS, striving for more sustainable vineyards and winemaking. This project has received funding from the European Union's Horizon 2020 Research and Innovation Programme under Grant Agreement number 869565.
Okay, then now, as you've seen in the consortium, we are 9 partners belonging to 4 European countries. We are 4 research centers, Eurecat, which is the coordinator of this project, and also is providing the disease tool and the business and sustainability tool. We have links from Italy that is providing the phenological forecasting and monitoring. Barcelona Supercomputing Center for the weather and climate forecasts. UNINA, Università di Napoli, providing the phenological models. We are 3 wine producers, Mastro Bernardino in Italy, Torres here in Catalonia, and Symington in Portugal. They all 3 have been collaborating in the requirements, collecting the needs, and also assessing and validating the services. And 2 companies, eLIF, which is the platform integrator, the one that has combined all the services in a single platform, and PricewaterhouseCoopers, which is a consultancy firm assessing in the market strategy to achieve the market reach. The concept of VitiGEOSS is, as I said, a single platform combining a series of services. As data sources, we are collecting satellite data, weather stations, images from the cameras, sensors in the field, and also observations from the farmers. And this information is combined in a series of intelligent services which want to provide a decision support system in the phenology, disease, crop management, and optimizing business operations. At the end, what we, in the long term, want to achieve is to support smart agriculture, and that's why we are providing recommendations for improving the use of resources and efficiency. We are providing predictions in different time scales in order for the farmers to be aware of extreme weather events, and like this being putting in place the measures needed to diminish the impact of these events. We are providing real-time and reliable information coming from these camera, drones, in-field sensors. Like this, for example, we are providing the phenology forecast so that farmers can implement the measures when these phenological phases has to come. And also providing predictions, helping to anticipate facing this risk that in the context that we are in climate change, we see that every time become more regular patterns and are increasing the risk of the things that are happening in the crops, diminishing productivity, and what we need at the end is to enhance the resilience of the farmers to face this climate change. And now I pass the floor to the following speaker, Fran Garcia from UPC.
Okay. Can you hear me? No. Can you hear me? No. Hello, hello? No? Otherwise I will use this. No? Now? No. No. Is this one? Okay, now, yeah. Okay. Hello, everybody. And thank you for inviting me to participate in this nice project and the closure of the project. So I'm Fran Garcia. I come from the Universitat Polytechnica de Catalonia. And what I'm going to do in 20-25 minutes is to talk about some challenges, some uses, and also some challenges that we have detected while working with remote sensing data in vineyard for many years. Okay. I come from the UPC, but more specifically from the Unit of Agricultural Mechanization. Okay, we are a research group where we are about 8 people. Okay, most of us we are researchers and also professors at the university. You can just Google it, and you will see all our activities, and then you have also resources, papers, and projects where we participate. Our main activity is related to pesticide application techniques, okay? But aside of this, we are also work a lot in precision agriculture in general, and because we are in Barcelona and the closest agriculture that we have is El Penedès region, we work a lot in precision viticulture. We do things like this, okay? We always, most of the times we work, we use technology to better apply pesticides or plant protection products to the crops, okay? Normally, or yeah, I would say always, 99% of the cases, it's tree crops, okay? We normally don't work with field crops. We do some things with horticultural crops, but mainly we focus on this type of crops that are the more challenging, okay? Because of their structure, their porosity, their density, and also because they are discontinuous. And keep this in mind because this is going to be like a thread in all my presentation. We work a lot, and especially it's my work. We work a lot in this kind of protocol. Okay, we are trying or we are developing different techniques using remote sensing from different sources to be able, at the end, our idea is that we want to apply the pesticides in different way depending on the area of the field where the machine is. Okay, you know that vineyards, or crops in general, they are variable. So what we basically do is to try to characterize this variability. Then we go to the field and measure to get some data, ground data. And then based on this, what we do is to use different technologies that are already in the market that help us to apply pesticides in different quantity depending on the canopy characteristics. That's the general idea. And based on this, we have different projects. Go Fit is already finished. It was the starting point where all this started to be implemented. Copper Replace is also finished. It was also a Sudoe project. Then now we have live projects like PLENARY and also Novaterra, where we are working on this, on improving this protocol of application. But we also do some other nice things, okay? We work, this is for example a soil sensor to map. Also, we do things about cartography, soil cartography. This is mapping soil conductivity. It's another layer of information that provides also a lot of information for the farm management. The nice thing here is the robot. Okay, the soil sensor is something that I was already using when I was in Chile 15 years ago. So it's nothing new, but being able to do it with a robot, it's something new. And this is the most fancy project that we are involved in. It's a robot. This is actually in Italy, in Corsica. It's a European project where we are working together with a robotic institute from our university as well, in detecting or building a robot that is able to detect, classify by quality, color, size, the bunches, and then collect them and place them in a box. Okay, this is easy for the humans, but not as easy for the robots. And also, we are teaching them to prune. It's a bit more complicated, but we are also in this process. So, as you see, we cover a huge range of applications, from very practical to very fancy and things that will come probably in some years. But we are here to talk about precision vineyard management. I don't know if all of you, probably yes, but if all of you know why precision and why we talk about precision, doesn't mean that farmers until today, they have been imprecise. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. My messages, or the messages I would like you to take home is, what does precision management mean, okay? And what level of precision we can achieve. And why, if we want to be precise, why do we need sensors? Or my question is, do we need sensors to be precise? I don't think so, but they help. So we are going to discuss about this. Then I'm going to present some challenges, some results that we are getting on the way we use remote sensing for vineyard management or pesticide application. And then I'm going to put some challenges that we have found, okay? We were discussing just before entering with some of you about the challenges of Earth observation systems, okay? I'm going to put some of them that I think they are not solved. So for researchers that are here, we still have a lot of way for our research and publications. And then I'm going to end up my presentation with possible barriers of adoption, and we can discuss that. Okay? I'm going to provide my idea or my conclusions, but then we can discuss. So let's start by the very beginning. Okay, very beginning. This is a vineyard, and all of you know that within a plot, especially in big plots, there is some variability. All the plants are not growing at the same pace. And that's something I don't think we can argue on this, or we can discuss, because this is already known. We don't need satellites for this. We already know that. In fact, we have some implications about this, because they grow in different paces. Sometimes they find, they level them. Sometimes we try with our management to level them in terms of vegetation, density, leaf area. But we can have these situations, okay? This is at harvest, same day of harvest, from two different points with two different vigors, okay? And then we find complete different. I also have the alcoholic degree, probable alcoholic degree, and acidity and everything, and the differences were huge. Same date of harvesting, two different qualities. And I'm sure if there are some enologists here, you would use these grapes for two different things. Okay. So that happens. That's of course. So all plots have in smaller or higher degree differences in crop growth, okay? And we call that spatial variability. That's the term I would like you to take home. And you are going to find this in higher or lesser degree in all vineyards, in all crops, in fact. And that's why when we talk about precise vineyard management, we are referring to precision agriculture. In viticulture, we are better than the others, and we have our own word, precision viticulture. It's precision agriculture for everybody, but for us it's precision viticulture. But at the end it's the same, okay? And I would like to, I don't know if you know that there is this international society, so we have an international society, a lot of people spending months in reaching this definition. It's quite long, but I would like you to read it. Precision agriculture is a management strategy. Wow, it's not technology, it's management strategy that gathers, processes, analyzes temporal, spatial, and individual data, and combines it with other, so combination. We need multi-layer, working with multi-layer. Combines it with other information to support management decisions according to estimated variability. We already know what variability is. For improved resource of efficiency, productivity, quality, profitability, and sustainability in agricultural production. They don't say anything about use technology. Nothing. So we can make this joke, but this is precision agriculture, at least for me, and I would like to convey this idea to you. It's getting information. We need an interpreter. Without an interpreter, it's impossible to do precision agriculture. And then, finally, we need someone who is doing some management. If there is no management, for me, again, I'm giving my opinion. For me, it's not precision agriculture. It has a cycle, and we need to do some management. Even if we don't do anything, because we don't need to do anything, it's a management. But we cannot end up in also only collecting data, because that's just spending money. So I was saying that a precision agriculture is not about technology, and I always have here this. This could be the small garden of my mother-in-law, for example. And I always ask, do you think my mother-in-law can do precision agriculture? Yes or no? She doesn't have even a telephone. Well, yes, she has this telephone that opens like this. Do you think she can do precision agriculture? I think she can. In fact, she does, because she only waters the plants that need water. She does something very, very fancy. She does site-specific harvesting, only harvesting tomatoes that are red, not the greens. She does site-specific or variable rate application of pesticides. She collects only the snails when they are there, okay, and only treats the plants that need it. So she can do precision agriculture because it's a philosophy, okay? It's nothing about technology, according to the definition from some experts. The problem is that how many mothers-in-law do I need to do the same here? It would be the worst nightmare for me, okay? So that's the thing. The philosophy can be applied without any technology. I know many a lot of farms that they do mapping just by looking and writing coordinates, and then they do maps, okay? So you don't really need technology, but sensors are useful to detect, map, and manage spatial variability. So that's why we use the sensors, and we have to bear this in mind. And we have to bear in mind which kind of sensors do we need, for what? Because there are many of them, okay? Soil sensors, some harvesters like this, they do harvesting machine, they do yield maps. You have weather stations, many different type of sensors. But we decided that we are going to use remote sensing. Why? Because it's cheap, or relatively cheap. It's fast, can cover a large area by just clicking on if you know where to go. That's the most difficult part, but once you know where to go, just clicking on doing 2 clicks, you can download an image and you can cover large areas, okay? And sometimes it's free. And as you know, we have different systems, and I'm not going to tell which one to use. It's up to you. But we have satellites that are, public. My colleagues are going to talk about Sentinel-2. We have Landsat as well, so you can just go and take the data because we are paying it as Europeans. Then we have other kind of sensors, other kind of satellites where you have to pay. You have to pay. They offer other characteristics, okay? Higher resolution and other things. And then we have drones of different kinds, and they use as well, they can be used for different things as well, okay? And they are, for me, if you look at this sequence, they are like a microscope. When you turn the wheel, you are getting higher zoom, okay? And if you have a range of microscopes, you can go from the, I don't know how is it called in English, but augmentation lens. to the very sophisticated electronic microscopes. But it's not the same, the cost of this lens than the microscope. It's the same here. You can go from this general zoom to the very specific zoom. But you have to prepare the money because the price is not the same. So this is very nice, and this is something that is not new. Okay, for more than 15 years, or yeah, since I finished my PhD, I was already working with drones, and I've been talking about that many times. But according to this document, sorry, I don't have it for Italy, or I don't have it for Portugal, or for Europe. I have it for Spain. And we also have one study in Catalonia that is going to be published in some months that did also some kind of survey like this. But according to this, they have interviewed more than 2,000 people, farmers from all the Spain, different sizes, and different sectors. And it's very nice. If you can read it, it's very easy to read, and then it gives you a lot of information about adoption of technology. And with it surprises to me, here, is that according to these surveys, only 5% of farmers use satellite information. I would say that it's more. This is in general, not only viticulture, in general. And only one of them, 1.5% use analysis using drones. For me, it's surprising. It's surprising because it's 10 or 15 years talking about that. So it's strange. We have a bridge there that is broken, and what we explain is not really being applied. Most of them, what they do is they take soil samples and then they do analysis. That 74% of them. Then some 33% of them they use sensors for the soil sensors. Okay, and then climate weather stations. Okay, 18% of them. And then some they use sensors for plants and fruits, dendrometers and stuff like that. Okay, and some of them they don't even know. 1% of them they don't even know what they have in their farm. I don't know if it's because they have many things and they just lose track, or because they don't care, or maybe they ask someone that was not even from the farm. If we split that into the different categories, what we have is that viticulture, only about 2% of farmers and 3% of farmers use drones and satellite, respectively. I would say that is different, my perception, but I'm not going to, come on, it's 272 people that have been asked by the Spanish ministry, so I don't think they have done, unbiased sample. So this is something, and I think it's similar around the Mediterranean basin. Okay, so I think what happens in Spain also happens in Italy, in Portugal. Otherwise, my colleagues can just explain. Where is this mostly used? In broad acre crops, and also potato and root crops. They use it quite a lot. Also because it's easy to use satellite information there than here. Something else, just to finish with this. The same report says that 43% of vineyards in Spain use variable rate application of fertilizers. That surprises me as well quite a lot, because I know few of them, 43%. And 38% of farmers, viticulturists, they use variable rate application of pesticides. It surprises me a lot, really. Yeah, okay, so that are the statistics. But we have a problem in the implementation, and that's true. I'm not going to say what a map like this is a variability map from Jan Leon, from Familia Torres. This is high vigor, low vigor, okay, and medium vigor, and then this is a map that we did for one project some years ago. We can do many things. Site-specific soil characterization. Let's go and dig in here, in here, in here, and then see why these differences are happening. That's something that is, we said that 74% of the farmers were using soil sampling. Let's do the same samples using this map. You don't need a super high resolution drone. You can take images just to know a little bit the variability and then go and collect the samples there. That's easy, and I think it's one way of using them. Then use these as well to take representative locations for installing soil sensors. 90% of, I cannot tell the number, but 90-something% of the variability is due to the soil. It's expressed by plants, but it's due to the soil. So if we have to put soil sensors, it's better to put them in representative areas. Variable rate fertilization, we can use this map and then fit it into a fertilizer spreader machine, spreading machine, and then do variable rate of fertilization, or even by hand. Definition of irrigation sectors, not here in the PNDES, probably soon, but in other areas, using these to characterize the soil, and then based on that, define the sectors. That's another possibility. Site-specific harvesting. Design of sampling protocols according to variability. If you have to go and sample here, I think it's better to know where you are going to sample and how variable is your field. And other uses, okay? So that can be used for many, many things. One good thing about satellites that you cannot do with drones is that you can do with drones, but I always say that you would have to spend a lot of money, is to know to have a temporal line about the phenology or the growth, okay? Here we have different plots. Well, in fact, it's the same plot, different experimental areas with low, medium, and high vigor, and you see huge differences in the NDVI mean, for example. It's one image every week, okay? And then we also have here some of the work that has been done, and we see how this work, for example, here they are just cutting the tips, okay, tipping, and then we see how the vigor is decreasing. We can have this quite easily by using satellite imagery. But then we cannot have this using satellite imagery. This is impossible, only with drone. Here I have each of the plants is segmented out, and then I have the vigor class for each of the plants. I cannot get this using satellite. This is a satellite that is giving me 3 meters by 3 meters spatial resolution. Okay? So I cannot do the same with this than this. It's impossible. Two different things. So different resolutions, they offer different possibilities. Okay? Because at the end we have this. This is a drone image, and on top of it, we have a grid simulating what a satellite would be. What do we have in 1 pixel of satellite? Many things. Many things, especially in vineyards and orchards. We have the vineyard itself. We have a lot of shadow and a lot of soil or grass. All this makes one single value. So we have what is called spectral mixture. And this mixture is going to be higher the resolution of the satellite. We have to take that into account. Because again, I'm coming here, and then I'm going to explain you how this spatial resolution, that for me is the most important thing to consider when working with Earth observation data, it's making an impact on this protocol. Well, this is basically a video should be about how the variable rate application work. Okay. This is in fact, this should be a video that is not really working anyway. This is how the tractor, following the tractor while it's doing the application, and how the tractor is adapting to the different areas of vigor that require different amount of pesticide, okay? And this is the result that we get. This is what we read, this is what we apply, okay? And here, in the specific case of the application of pesticides, here you have the savings that we are getting in average. After 7-8 years of working, we have always savings around 30% of pesticide and water saved, with no implication in the control of the disease. okay? Just by using, going back here, just by using this protocol, we fly with satellite or drone, we generate a canopy map, bigger map, we go to the field and characterize it, we use our own platform DSS Dos Aviña, you have to just measure and then it will give you a volume rate, we apply this volume rate and then we do the application, okay? Only doing this, we can get about 30% of savings. We have even gone, a bit more far away and challenging, and not only reducing the volume rate that we apply, but also we have tried to reduce the amount of copper, the concentration of copper that we apply. Okay, and by reducing 30%, 40% in two different growth stages, we have achieved the same deposition in the leaf than the conventional treatment. But we are still keeping working on this, okay, to see how good is the application of pesticides when we adapt our application, our volume rate to the characteristics of the vegetation. And what we are doing? What we are doing now? We want to get rid of this person going to the field and measuring, because imagine. Well, last year, no applications were done in the Penedès, but let's go back to the old times where 6, 7 applications were done every year. I cannot ask the farmer to go 7 times per season, actually in 2-3 months, 7 times to the field, to each of the fields, and measure some points. They are not going to do it. So what we want to do is to work on this automatic conversion from canopy maps, vegetation index, to prescription map. And here, I'm going to focus on the influence of the spatial resolution and what we can do, what we cannot do. This is a work trying to relate the remote sensing information with the canopy characteristics, in this case, volume, 3-row volume, the volume of vegetation. I can tell you now that I can go to any vineyard of yours, and using a drone, I can predict, using this formula, I can predict with a certain level of error, acceptable level of error, the canopy characteristics of your vineyard. Using drones, I can do it. We have very good relations. I cannot ensure that using satellites, I can do the same. I can do it very well for the vineyards in the Penedès, but I cannot do it for the vineyards in Italy yet. We are working to reach this. What did we do here? As you see, with the drone, we can segment each of the vineyards that have been sampled. Okay? We mark them in the ground. We can segment only the vegetation because we have enough resolution. Okay? This is the protocol that we use. We build a mask, and then we segment, and then in the field we calculate different parameters. And then we can compare one-to-one. This vineyard represents these canopy characteristics. It's the same we were talking about other topics before. Okay? We are able to determine which is the vineyard that we are measuring. When I use remote sensing, I have a pixel that is covering 9 square meters in our case, 100 square meters if we work with Sentinel. We are using Planet Labs constellation. You have to pay it. You have to pay it. We don't have to because we are university. So for research, we have a free access, and we are trying to use those satellites with smaller pixel size, only 3 meters by 3 meters, so 9 square meters, to try to build these models. But in 9 square meters, how many plants can I have? About 6, 7 plants. I'm collecting only information from one of them. Okay, so that's why the relations are not as good as they are with the drone. So then we said, okay, I cannot compare plant by plant. Let's see if I can compare groups of plants, okay? So for each vigor class, I'm going to predict the canopy characteristics based on the information provided by the drone. Again, the drone is behaving canopy height, canopy width, leaf wall area, tree-row volume, perfect, I can do it tomorrow if you want, okay? With satellite, I have a lot of scattering. Still, I need more research, and we are doing this. In fact, within the project Novaterra, we are trying to improve this by sampling more plants within this pixel. And why is that? Because in one pixel, I have a percentage of vineyard, a percentage of shadow, a percentage of soil and grass, a percentage of other things. All these make up one value that I'm comparing with my ground observations. What we have realized is that as we are working with a crop that grows in 3 dimensions, well, all the crops grow in 3 dimensions, but in this case, it's a wall of vegetation. Depending on the orientation of this row, we have different amount of shadow. So these proportions change. This one is fixed, but these two are variable. And it changes while the sun is changing. So it's a continuous change. And we are not considering that for our calculations. And we think that we have to consider it. And I think that in the future, we will have to consider this in our calculations. See, same day, same vineyard, 2 different images taken at 12 and 3, same object, different amount of projected shadow. So this variable has changed. Okay? And remember again, what the satellite sees is a mixture of all these. So if the shadow changes, then the whole signal changes. And why is this important? Because the row orientation is going to play a big role on this. And we have many vineyards with different row orientations. The satellite normally passes the same time, but we have different vineyards with different row orientations. Also different soil management with grass, without grass, partial grass, okay? So I just wanted to point this out because that's our line of research, and I think for some of the management actions that you want to do as a farmers, you will have to correct in the future to be more precise and to be able to do more things with satellites. We will have to correct all these issues, okay? Because it's not the same working with classes. I do 3 classes. Feel free to use this. This is reliable. You can use it, no problem. It's not the same working with classes then and going to the field to do some measurements, then trying to predict something based on the actual value of the remote sensing system. Okay, so it's affected by many factors. That's why researchers that are trying to do disease detection, they are all using, the ones that succeed, they are using either airborne, so airplane, or drone systems to do this, okay? We have also worked with other systems like ground systems, okay? I don't have time to explain this, but we are very successful detecting downy mildew, but when the plant is already infected. So another challenge is to do it before the human. Okay? So just to finish, the challenges that I see is that there is a lot of information, but we need one single platform. So I'm glad that VitiGEOSS is working on adding all this information in one single platform. We need technical prescription, not information. Okay, farmers, they want to know what they have to do, so they need the prescription. We have to see how costs versus the benefits, because this is the major barrier. And then we need compatibility. Different platforms need to be compatible, because right now they are not. So everything is plug and play, but until you go and plug and doesn't play. And then you have also, well, these were the last ones were my impressions, but it's the same that we see in this document that I showed you. Okay, cost, but also training. We have a lot of technology. We have to train. We have to go and train, and it's difficult. We have done it many times, but we have to keep on training. And we got a project for this. Okay, there is a lot of information already available from many projects. So we have now 4 years in this project, a European project, to go and train and apply all this information to the field. And that's the overview I wanted to give you. I don't know if there is time for questions or not. If there are questions, I'm happy to answer.
We have 5 minutes of questions, so yeah.
Questions?
Okay, I don't know if there is any question on the room. I will start with one in the chat so we can give you the micro. We have a first question in the chat. They say, do you think that precision viticulture should have as its main objective the standardization of the productivity of a given plot, or instead precision viticulture should largely try to take advantage of the existing variability, identifying and managing in it?
I cannot answer because that depends on the marketing of the winery.
Okay.
There are 2 ways of working. One way of working is, okay, I'm going to try to work in my management actions if it's possible. I said that most of the variability comes from the soil. Changing a soil doesn't happen in 1 year, neither in 10. Okay, so I can try to homogenize by working on the soil and then fertility and other actions, but this will happen only if the variability is very low. If I have large variability, it's better to segment. But again, I have to get the money paid back because it's going to be more effort, and then the people who knows about marketing, they have to sell those bottles at higher price. Otherwise, at least you have to know the variability, and now you have technology. That's one of the messages. So you have technology to manage according to the variability. Okay, so there are 3 things. Just accept it and segregate the yield. Work to standardization, if you can. But at the same time that you work in the standardization, probably or mostly working on the soil characteristics, also using technology to apply in variable rate.
Yeah, so it makes sense. We had another question in there.
Hello. Thank you for the speech, very, very interesting. My name is Claudio Rossi and I'm from Links Foundation. I'm a partner in VitiGEOSS. We have done a similar work on drones to segment the vineyards and compute a vigor index. So I wanted to ask you regarding that. What do you believe is a good update frequency for these maps? Because normally, as we have seen, the vine growers, they don't have drones themselves, so they have to rely on an external service. And every time you request a flight, it is costly, no? So speaking about the cost, that is one of the things to be kept under control. We need to find a balance. So in your opinion, what is a good resolution and good timing, update frequency? And then I wanted to ask whether you produce the maps using only optical sensors or optical cameras, or you experimented with multispectral or hyperspectral, and which are the advantages in this sense?
Yeah, okay. The frequency, there is no a clear answer about that, because it depends on what you want to do. For example, if you want to detect diseases, according to the statistics, I forgot to say, but farmers surveyed, they say that they go every second day to check some fields. So you have to be faster than the farmer if you want to detect them before them. So probably you would need a fly every week during the sensible time. If you want to do just, we were talking before with Luis about this year detecting vineyards that are dead. You can fly one time. You have to decide the right place, the right moment in the season. For me, what I would do, I would for sure use periodical images from satellite, and we have identified, in fact, 3 moments. I would do 2 images during the flowering, so when the plant is growing very fast until it stops the growing because you just tip it or whatever. Doing 2 or 3 maps there because things are changing every week. After you have more or less found your structure, then with 1 map in variation, it's more than enough for most of the things. But if you want to detect diseases, then you have to be very frequent. And the other question is, we work with multispectral images, with satellite up to 8 channels, okay, with Planet Labs, from the blue to the near infrared, and with drone, 5 channels. With the standard MicaSense camera, it has 5 channels as well, from blue to near infrared. In the university, we haven't tried with hyperspectral cameras. I did it in my PhD in another university, and they will be the change, because they are able to provide you higher spectral resolution, but it's also, you are going to have problems to justify the price, the cost. Because I don't think right now, with the cost they have, there is any winery that can sell bottles of wine to pay for the price they have. Okay. But for me, they are going to be the change, especially in disease detection.
Okay, we had another question here in the room, and then we will have, if we have time, we will do the last one in the chat.
Es pot fer en català?
Yeah, I will
Sí,
yeah,
sí.
Should we translate
una
maybe?
cosa.
Yeah.
Realment, la diferència, que sobretot quan busques NDVI, la diferència que pots arribar a tenir, per exemple, quan analitzes moltes parcel·les amb dron, respecte que tu comences a volar a les 9 del matí fins a les 4 de la tarda o 5 de la tarda, la diferència d'interpretació que pots donar a un NVI respecte a un satèl·lit que sempre et fa la fotografia en un mateix moment, per tant tens una capacitat de comparació de totes les parcel·les de cop d'una zona, quina diferència tindríem, quina fiabilitat tindríem. No estem parlant de volums de vegetació, sinó estem parlant d'anàlisis de vigor i d'activitat fotosintètica de la mateixa planta.
Okay, Luis was asking, if we fly with a drone, if you fly with a drone and you want to cover, let's say, 50 hectares, you start working at 10 in the morning, and then you end up at 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Okay, so there is a window of time there where the sun conditions are changing. Whereas if you use satellite, all those plots are collected at the same time. And he was asking about the influence of this. It shouldn't have any influence if you do a proper radiometric calibration of your drone images. Not all the companies do it still, but if you do a proper calibration with your ground targets, grayscale targets, and then every time you fly, you have the real reflectance of surfaces that they don't change, it shouldn't have any influence. You will have some influence because the wall of vegetation, it will have a little bit more shadow in one side than the other. But if you do a good filtering and good calibration, you shouldn't have any influence. In fact, I think you are going to have less radiometric influence if you work with the drone, as you said, than if you use the satellite with different row orientations, because that plays a huge role. A huge role. ¿Te he contestat? Sí.
Okay, the last one, it says, do you see any benefit of having a digital twin of vineyard blocks for precision viticulture applications?
Yeah, I see the benefit. I know people is working on this. The digital twin is like is the fancy way of in industry 4.0 to have an industry completely in simulation. So you can change, let's say, the speed of bottling wine, and then you can predict. You change it before changing it actually in the place. Right. You change it in your model, and then you see all the changes that you are going to have in all your change of all the management in the company. So they want to do the same in agriculture, and there are some groups doing already. The problem is that it's very easy to model things that are under control conditions, and if we have something in the agriculture is that there are no control conditions. You don't know what is going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
No one knows. So the digital twin would help a lot. Imagine that you can, for example, change in the computer in your model, in the digital model, you can change the volume rate of, you decrease by half the amount of pesticides that you are applying. You do it digitally. And then the model predicts what is going to happen with sufficient reliability. That would be amazing. But this is up to what I know now, this is impossible. It's like science fiction because agriculture is completely unpredictable.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you, Fran. Thank you very much for your explanation. It was very interesting. Now it's coffee break. Yeah. Thank you. So now it's coffee break time. So we have a little bit of coffee and so on, just here inside the place. You can go right, and you can have some coffee, and we will start again at 11:45. So thank you very much, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Thank you.